Hi Sagittarius, thank you for joining me. I'm a Saggy too, so I'm getting something out of this one. 3-card tarot for the sign of Sagittarius, and I'm doing this around, and the intention of it is all around the full moon in Aquarius on Thursday the 15th of August 2019, which is the same day as the very end of the post-shadow to Mercury retrograde. So big changes are happening, and what's going on in a Sagittarian life at the moment, let's have a look. And the first card is the Four of Cups. This doesn't look like a happy position to be in, Saggy, and I can just about relate to it as well. So things don't feel great. There look like problems out in the distance there waiting to happen. Things don't look as if they're going to be terribly successful, and Turtle here is very, very depressed by the look on his face. There's a dolphin in the background holding up the cup, showing that all the kind of possibilities of the cups are there, the longings, the desires, everything that Turtle would like to have and feels that he can't have. Right behind him with a dolphin holding them up in the air, but he's looking in the other direction and thinking how hopeless it is, which is a great shame really. But this is a 4 card. There's great positivity in that, okay, and that says that somehow things are stable underneath Turtle there. And in the story around this card, it's Tarot in Wonderland, and in the story in the book that goes with this card, Turtle has absolutely no reason to feel sad. He just happens to feel sad. Now it goes two ways. That can be someone just kind of being a bit pathetic when they should pull their socks up. At the same time, that can be someone who genuinely suffers from something that is a real problem, which I've mentioned before, because I have it myself sometimes. Endogenous depression, Now, in any kind of depression, there isn't really a reason for it. There's usually some kind of triggering factor, but with endogenous depression, it just turns up one day. It's a pain. So if that's you guys, and I tell you, it really is me from time to time, if that's you, don't let me kind of urge you to pull your socks up now. But if you can pull your socks up, if you're just kind of being a bit more miserable than you need to be, and you know it, pull those socks up, Saggy, okay, because otherwise they're going to wrinkle under your feet, and then you're not going to be able to walk anywhere. And I am being metaphorical and spiritual there, but that is a real good analogy, I think. Anyway, let us have a look at what Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray is going to tell us about the 4 of Cups in this reading for the sign of Sagittarius at end of Mercury retrograde and full moon in August 2019. What are we finding out about the 4 of Cups? Tell us more, please, about the 4 of Cups. And we've got Lady Nada, Heart Awakening. The first thing I notice is just that her name there, Lady Nada, and I'm just thinking of that other version of Nada that means nothing. And this is the thing, right, that Turtle is worrying about basically is nada, it's nothing. Couldn't resist that one, and that's not what the card means. Heart Awakening, awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. That's what Lady Nada is saying, giving and receiving in balance. Now, could this be the root of the problem, Saggy? Could this be what's gone wrong here? Have you just given and given and given and it's just not getting you any results? It happens. Life is like that. Sometimes on the journey of life, you've got to kind of do a thing 20 times to have one success with it. It just goes like that in some areas. I've worked on making musical instruments and trying to design the new instruments. Sometimes they're just wrong, and you have to do a lot of design work just to come up with something that works. And life is like that. But it's the old thing that on the one hand, nothing worth having can be got without hard work. It's always worth hard work to get what you want. On the other hand, you can be on a hiding to nothing. That really is what you've got to decide there. But let me just look back to Lady Nada. I've put her down on the side there because I haven't got my table in front of me today. And awaken to acceptance. Try and accept the situation, what it is. Giving and receiving in balance. I feel that's really quite important there, actually. But just, love. Try and live love. Have a heart of love. That's a very airy-fairy thing to say, I know, but in anything to do with endogenous depression, that is really, really good for starting to see the positive side of things and for drawing positive energy towards you. It's also great in terms of getting things done because part of what love is all about is that love of life when things are going well and you just, it can be a really happy thing getting on with things. when this Four of Cups kind of sadness appears at the beginning of the reading, I always think it's going to be a fairly cheerful reading, right? Because he's missing the dolphin there, you know? The good side of it is already there, waiting to happen. How cool might that be, I wonder? Right, back to Tarot in Wonderland, and let's find out what is the middle card in this spread for the sign of Sagittarius, please. The middle card in this Sagittarius reading at full moon 2019 August and end of Mercury retrograde 29 August. What is happening? What is happening? And it's the Ace of Swords. Put the other ones down there. It's the Ace of Swords. Right, this means a decision, and it doesn't mean, you know, a kind of decision that takes a long time to come to. This is a decision that maybe has taken a long time to get to this point in time, but the decision is ready to happen. You may find, Sagittarius, that the decision has already been taken. It may take some more thought. It may take some more work, actually. But, you know, life has to unfold at its own pace, basically. So that is really worth taking into consideration there. If you can't be decisive this time, as I'm always saying, these things go in cycles. There'll be another time to make that decision. But something really strongly decisive is happening here. And this is what's going to make a difference. Because although in some ways feeling like this could be said to be Turtle's own fault for dwelling on the miserable side of life, and it's not always people's fault, but it could be, what really needs to happen is something needs to change, because whatever the reason is, this isn't good. This isn't a happy situation. And to get to that Dolphin Cup, to get to actually what really matters and what's going to make a big difference, that decision needs to come. I would like to know some more about that decision and what it's all about. So I'm going to go in and I am going to have a good old shuffle in here and see what comes out. Tell us more, please, about the Ace of Swords in this reading for Sagittarius, please. Tell us more about the Ace of Swords for Saggy. And we've got Katumi. Excuse me. Katumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust. What do you know? If I just bring that back a bit there so you can make sense of it. Now, lots of great spiritual symbology here. We've got Eastern symbol. Well, apart from all the other meanings of these symbols, we've got Eastern spiritual symbology down here. And this is much more to do with the Western view of things, but we've got it all coming together. And in the world the way it is at the moment, we don't really need to separate things out as much, anything like that, as much as we used to. Much better now that everyone's kind of flowing together. Cloak of Wisdom. Well, the wisest thing is what's really going to make the difference here, because I do feel a distinct lack of wisdom with Turtle here, you know, and this making a decision business, that's going to make a big change, and so it needs to be a wise decision. It needs to be, you know, everything needs to be taken into account. I'm seeing all this gold here as an indication, sort of all-encompassing. Everything needs to be dealt with somehow, because what is actually on its way is pure gold, and that's a big thing to say. But that is what the spiritual journey through life is leading us towards constantly, and the more in tune we get with things like, you know, the alchemical side of the Ace of Swords here and the esoteric side of decision making, the more in tune we get with that, the more golden the outcome is going to be. So that is Katumi. And now let us go on and ask for the outcome card, please, in this spread for the sign of Sagittarius. What is the next tarot card in this reading for Saggy? Around the full moon and the end of Mercury retrograde in August 2019. What have we got for Saggy? The Lovers. Right, number 6, excuse me, number 6, the Lovers. It's major arcana. This is close to you. It's close to the heart, of course, because it's the Lovers. Now, if this to you is a love reading, Saggy, this really shows that something is very likely not far away, around the corner somewhere. I rather hope that might be the case myself, actually, but I'm always hoping that, aren't we all? I guess the thing to do is realise that that is only one expression of love, which is another thing that this card points out, actually. And we need to treat love with respect, whatever it is, you know, a love of life, a love of animals, friendships, loving, you know, a certain love of money, I think, tends to go with life these days, simply because it's so tied up with everything. And I don't think that's as kind of greedy and nasty as it sounds. I think a lot of people crave money simply because of what they could do if they had it, which is very often stuff that you can't do anymore because of the modern world, let alone anything else. Anyway, look, the Queen here, her idea of love is a very kind of strident authoritarian thing where she's going to get cross. And that suits some people. The King is here looking absolutely chastened, but he's there with the Queen. But Alice is much more kind of gentle. She has that childlike innocence and approach to things, and that is a real big help, actually, that childishness. That's the wrong word, but that childlike approach to life is a massive help in this world, because the one thing that's really going missing all the time is innocence. And, people feel, well, I might be left out in the cold if I go along with innocence. But think of what that means, right? We have a British politician at the moment who is, I'm not going to go into the politics, I won't do that. There's this politician who came up a few years ago as a new leader. And a lot of people said that he couldn't really ever be the Prime Minister, the leader of this country, because he's too honest, right? Now, I'm not saying he is too honest, I'm not going into the politics here, but the general public did actually think that he was very, very honest. Whether he is or not is another matter. But isn't it terrible that someone can't be the Prime Minister or can't be in charge of something because they're too honest? That is just a massive sickness in this world. So think of that childlikeness, guys. It really is worth hanging on to wherever you can. There's an old Rush song from the 70s. What happened to our innocence? Did it go out of style? Along with our naivety, no longer a child. Anyway, I've digressed as I always do. Krishna is the card which has come out to tell us more about the lovers in this reading for Sagittarius. And here is Lord Krishna. It's all about devotion, and we're going right back to the earliest spiritual energy on the planet here. I feel very sure that is where the Hindu mythology is actually leading when we read it. It says here, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognised. You are loved unconditionally. Isn't that good? Right, now then, that is explaining the lovers, and that is taking us into the sacred side of what this really means. And this isn't just a love of life. This isn't just a general love, but it's a general love and real love and specific love and love of life and love of absolutely everything is indicated here. And when you're really devoted to something, that's where the love begins to come into it. And you find that actually your devotion was drawn in the first place either by the love that was already there or the potential you could see for love in a situation. So, if you're looking for love and hoping to find a lover in your own life, could be just around the corner, okay? But be really genuine. Keep it really real. That's what I'm saying, Saggy. If not, well, excuse me, great things are certainly coming. There's more love of life, there's more love of everything. And a good deal of wisdom there, I feel, in the cards, if not from me. So thank you very much for watching, Saggy. Thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. Excuse the filthy fingers. I always have filthy fingers. You're used to it by now, let's face it. Subscribe and tap the bell, please, so you don't miss anything. I will be back real soon with more readings. Leave me a comment. We will share the journey. All the best to you guys, and peace.